Well, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to everybody. And it is a happy Thursday, isn't it? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hot Topics Thursday. Today's a good day, right? We have a new Supreme Court judge. Let's give it up for the new Supreme Court judge. How do y'all feel about that? Ketanji. Feels pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, let me start saying hi to people. Thanks for hanging out with me on Thursday. We get together, we do a little bit of hot topics, whatever's in the news, the good, the bad, the not so great, whatever you guys want to talk about. All right. Start with Marie. Hi, Equus333. Hi, Marie. Good to see you. Alexandra Bellino. Hi. Hi, Alexandra. Don Atlas is in the house. What a day. It sure is. Kay Williams, hello. Good evening. Wendy Bello, hi. Mora, hello. Yas, hi. Seaside Tarot. Wow, 97 in Palm Springs. I think spring started March 20th, March 21st, something like that. Hi, Sandy. Good to see you. Giselle Pacqua in the house. Good to see you. Hi, Geocosmic Valentine. So I misspoke. Last time I spoke to people I had met, speaking of French, I said, oh, my mother was French. And somebody said, I thought your mother was Hungarian. Actually, my mother was born in Wichita, Kansas, but she was part French. But no, she was a huge lover of French culture, I should have said. I misspoke. But yeah, so we kind of grew up with the Parisian way of doing things. But my pronunciation of the French is quite bad. It's one of those languages I do want to learn. Oh, hello, Marjorie Harrison. Good to see you. Rachel White. Hello. Redwoods. Great to see you. Kelly Barnes is in the house. Paisley. Hola. Joel Tilson. Hello. Jet Garby. Donna Stevenson. I'll keep saying hi to everybody as we go along, but did everybody watch the vote today in the House or in the Senate, pardon me, when Ketanji Brown Jackson got her, she was nominated? Hi, Michelle, my belle. Good to see you here. Hi, Sandy R. Well, isn't it just like Ron Paul that he would have to be? How late was he? He had to be the last person. He waltzed in. They all had to wait for him. Good to see you, Angeline Williams. Good to see you. Anyway, so it's everybody it's like they're playing their roles. It makes me think human beings are very childish and immature. But when you have that level of childish and immaturity, you probably shouldn't be in the Senate, like wanting to get back at us because of what happened with their nominee. What was his name? The rapist. Oh, Mitch said she got in with dark money. Interesting. Oh, hi, J Cat Lady. Good to see you. Oh, I forgot to get my tissue. Oh, well. Kavanaugh. Yeah, Kavanaugh. All right, so I am going to grab maybe some tissue, something here, since I'm sitting on the chair that has the cat hair on it. Thank you. All right, so I think we're going to blitz, blitz, blitz away as soon as I get the order, and then we will hang. Hopefully my cough won't be too bad. I took some Allegra D today. And what do you say? Should we do it? Should we blitz, blitz, blitz away? And then whatever you guys want me to look at, we can take a look at. Yeah, well, it was nice. President Obama was in the White House. Was it yesterday? That was kind of cool. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to blitz, blitz, blitz away. Let's go. Well, let's do the impasse prayer first. Sound good? Yeah. Okay, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. Yeah, so, I mean, that's why how things went down with Kavanaugh, I knew they were going to have to, they were going to make us pay for it, you know? So it was really kind of bizarre. You know, kind of a tit for tat. Yeah, Kavanaugh yelled, cried, acted like a lunatic. That's very true. So, I thought that I would answer questions that we hadn't gotten to in a while. One of the questions that people had been asking me about had to do with whether or not the hyperinflation was going to continue, or what the economy was going to be looking like in the spring. You know, we had also talked about the fact that the jobs report would be very good in the spring. It looks like people are very active and they're spending a lot of money. You know, one of the things they've said is the way to stop hyperinflation is people need to stop spending money, because the companies say, well, if you're willing to pay for it at this price, then why not keep selling it at this price? And then you have the whole prepper phenomenon where people are buying 10 years worth of food, right? Even though the thing that will probably kill most preppers is heart disease, since that's what kills most Americans, right? But I just want to see what we can see in terms of, when she gets sworn in. Oh, 82 degrees. Yeah, Portland's really nice as well. So thank you everyone who sent your quick questions through Wizio. It's a 5-minute question. I think it costs $20. We probably will raise the price to something like $25 in a month or two. Right now it's just $20, and I can send you a tape for a 5-minute answer to one question. It's also kind of nice if you haven't decided if you want to come in for a long session with me, and so you'll just give it a try, see how it is as a tape. It usually they say give me up to 7 days to return it. It's usually taking about 3 days, 4 days, give or take, um, through Wizio. If you'd like a Wizio reading, you can see the information below this video. Yeah, so if you're still waiting on your questions, if you don't get them today, you'll get them tomorrow. I'm almost caught up. All right, so we're going to look at inflation in the spring, inflation this spring. A little scary, isn't it? Everything cost a little bit more. So you go shopping and you say, well, that's not too bad, but it's a little bit more than last year. But then everything is a little bit more. It starts to add up. All right, so I just want to check the economy if we're looking at a crash or what's going to be happening this spring. Oh, thank you, Redwoods, for that compliment. What is going on with the economy? Okay, where the economy is right now is they are telling people to slow down a little bit. That's kind of, if you are looking at major purchases this spring, if you're looking at buying property, they say like the people are waiting for the prices to come down on property. You could want to be just careful about any major purchases right now. I do feel like the prices for some things will start to go down by the fall. But I would, with the karma card for everybody being a 2 of Swords, I would caution against major purchases for the next few months if you're looking at being worried about hyperinflation. Also, we have a temperance card here, which would encourage me, would lead me to think that they're telling us to be moderate, because temperance is about sobriety. So you're pulling back with the 2 of Swords. You're also getting a temperance card, which is about balance and reasoning. So they're saying, at least for the next couple of months, these are cautious cards. A lot of people taking 2 jobs, 3 jobs, passive income. It's not the old ways where it was just us on a farm or something like that. You can see the 2 of Pentacles coming in, rocky waters financially. Basically, people feel that the stock market is hyperinflated. And so they just feel like it's sitting on air and everything is just going to drop. But the fact, again, that a 2 of Pentacles is the card of the con artist, it's wishy-washy, it's back and forth, it's trickery, it's paying Peter to, taking from Peter to pay Paul. So that 2 of Pentacles in the first house would be cautious about the financial situation right now. The Queen of Pentacles is right over the situation, which leads me to think that the Feds are doing what they can to kind of fix the situation, raising interest rates at a rate which theoretically will slow down inflation. You can also see the Queen of Swords coming in the 4th house. Wow, a lot of you guys are really straining under the economy, right? Look at that. A lot of economic hardship right now in the country. A lot of confusion about where we're headed financially. The economy will start to pick up in about 6 months. The inflation will start to stabilize in 6 months. It's basically what they're saying. You can see the victory in 6 months. You can also see slashing. The Feds are going to do something. Where we're at right now, 3 of Cups. So everybody's in a pretty good place, but The Chariot. Hopes and fears, the Emperor. Final outcome, Five of Swords. Yeah, it's going to be rocky until probably for the next 6 months. I think there's something on this chair that's causing my reaction. Every time I sit here, I wonder if it's this thing. Something has Mila's fur on it or something. So I would say with those cards, yeah, be frugal. I think these prepper people, though, have gone a little too far. All right, so next question had to do with the Ukraine, and people wanted to know if America would America be going to war? America going to war with Russia? What do you think? Yes, every time I sit here, I start coughing, and I think it's something on the chair because I wasn't coughing before I sat here. So I think it's she's shedding a lot. I'm picking up clumps of fur. So what do you think? Do you think America's going to war? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Are we going to be part of the conflict? Or, oh, hello, Red Gypsy. Well, I removed that blanket that she was sitting on because I started getting a tickle in my throat, and sometimes I think I get hairs. I inhale hairs and things when I sit here. I think that's what it is. Oh, the frog out. No, it's not. No, it's something on this chair. I'm having an allergic reaction to the fur or something on the chair. Talk to myself for 15 minutes. Like now it's going away, but no. See, as soon as I said that, I felt like a tickle on my throat. I think it's the fur. All right, is America going to war? I did Allegra D, Joel, and it worked really great. All right, America at war, heartbreak. Look at that. Carrying a heavy load. This is really starting to burden the whole world. This is the problem. It goes back to the whole idea. If you look at Putin, it goes back to the whole idea of what happens when we don't deal with someone who's a sociopath, right? You know, if somebody comes into our space or and they have certain personality problems, we say, well, just walk away. Then and it never gets dealt with. The problem just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So in a way, that's kind of what I see with Putin is the world didn't deal with him. The world didn't deal with Trump. And so as a result, the monster just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually it has to get addressed. That's why I really think like the sooner we can deal with these types of problem children early on, the better. But we can see here a Three of Swords. I think that what they're going to find in Mariupol is going to be pretty bad. I mean, they haven't even gotten in and seen how many people were killed. And then the United States has a very heavy burden, 10 of Wands. Where we are at right now, the Emperor, so we're kind of the leader, right? We're seen as the leader of the free world. Other countries are even willing to give us money to help to organize it. So when other countries talk about pledging, they're also pledging money to the United States if the United States decides to become mobilized. The Seven of Pentacles moving in, which would be harvesting coin or gathering coin support. And then King of Rods in the fourth house could be some kind of strong, aggressive action. Hermit is sitting in the third house. So America's trying to be very practical and logical about whether or not they want to go into the war. And the near future is Knight of Cups, so they're willing to be an intermediary. They're willing to be there to kind of negotiate a peace deal. Where we're at right now, the United States, it gets its wish regarding. They're saying that Russian troops will pull out and that they will withdraw. The other, in relationship to the United States, pulls out. They leave the booty. The hope and the fear, the tower. And then the final outcome for whether the United States goes to war. No, but we're dealing with a huge problem of serious theft. So when they went into these major cities, they might have smashed the windows of jewelry stores, that sort of thing. And so we have a lot of major theft cards, destruction. Maybe soldiers went in and smashed up the downtown area and walked off with rings and jewelry and that sort of thing. And so it's not just that people got killed based on these cards. It's also the extent of theft and looting that took place. You can see here the issue, for example, Mariupol, the areas that were occupied outside Kyiv. And then we have the Seven of Swords. The thief comes and then flees. Heartbreak. So they came, they trashed the place, they killed a bunch of people, and then they withdraw and they take a bunch of things with them. Booty, jewelry, wealth, gold, people's personal property is stolen off of. They're thugs, they're criminals. They come in and they steal a bunch of stuff and leave. I don't think America will have to be in full-blown war with them unless something very major changes based on these cards, because the Russians are already fleeing. You know, it's like the limp dog running away after they've created this mess. So what do you think about that, people? So right now, it's looking unlikely that we will, we will probably continue to supply them stuff, but based on those cards, they're starting to withdraw. Do you guys think that they're going to be able to take Odessa? Remember when Putin told us he was going to try and take Odessa like 2 months prior? He wanted the port because of the Black Sea. Control over pricing of products coming in and out of Central Asia. Interesting, huh? All right, so question from Claudia Pava. Hi, Claudia, thanks for the question. Boy, we just dove right into it, didn't we? All right, President Zielinski says that Russia is staging the bodies of the victims in Mariupol to blame the Ukrainian soldiers. Will anyone believe that? Mariupol is under Russia siege, so who will believe it? Let's find out about Mariupol. We'll use the universal Rider-Waite, or no, I think this is the radiance text. Okay, I'll just take a look at Russian propaganda. Hello, everyone. It would be great if you could like, subscribe, join. Joining the channel would be cool. Hi, False Teeth Tarot. Okay, so it looks like people are going to be able to get into Mariupol relatively soon. It just seems to be showing Russia leaving. I'm feeling Russia pulling out. You can see here peacekeeping troops, that attempt to come in with the Ace of Cups, and then Chariot would indicate movement. Where we're at right now, a judgment is being made. I think UN is discussing charges, crimes against humanity. It's a Two of Pentacles. I really think that a lot of this was theft of property. Four of Cups, there's no peace deal right now. They may leave without telling us what they want to do, or they may leave and threaten to come back at another time. Like we can come back anytime we want to. It could be that kind of they really busted up. This cost them a ton of money in terms of loss of tanks and whatnot. I would say the Russian army is not happy with their performance. It's no surprise because it goes back to previous remotes where there was theft and corruption. There was so much theft and corruption in the Russian government that it had an impact on the ability of the Russian army to do its job and to get the necessary equipment to do its job effectively, because so much had been stolen from the coffers of the Russian people. And again, you can see here theft. The insanity is kind of horrifying to Biden, to come in and just trash everything, smash everything up, murder a bunch of people, and then run off with their jewelry, and then threaten to come back again anytime you want to. That's how this feels. This is a new beginning. This spring, it already starts. Wish in the springtime leads me to think that they will probably be leaving fairly soon. I think most Russians don't want to talk about it and would be very defensive to discuss it based on the feelings in Russia right now. Yeah, so I would say that probably Russia is losing the propaganda war at this point with those types of cards. Isn't that crazy cards? Okay. Hi, Desiree Robato. Hi, Greeter TAK. All right. Off to another question, my dears. What's Melania thinking about the war near her homeland? Oh. Is it that I guess it is, right? Isn't her dad a pro-Soviet? He was a pro-Soviet. He's a pro-Russian politician, right? Let's take a look. What does Melania think? There's a possibility that, there's a part of her that they want to go back to Slovakia. There's a part of them that seriously have thought about leaving the United States, or at the very least owning property outside the United States, her family, because you've got travel, possibly travel back, a celebration, also some good financial news for her. And I see a divorce. I always see a divorce with Melania. She She can't leave the United States until her son turns 17 or 18. 17, he has the right to choose, I guess she's saying. Yeah, divorce, going to court, walking away, can't win. She wants to take her child and possibly leave the country. So I would say with those cards that she's probably worried, and part of her would like to go back to where she came from. Every time I go into her energy, she talks about the fact that there's something about her son's age and that she doesn't have the right to take him out of the US without Donald's permission until he turns 17, and then he has a right to choose according to something law, or I don't know. She goes into this whole thing about his age. So when he reaches a certain age, he can choose to go wherever he likes. I guess that's what she's saying. Interesting, right? Okay, so here's a question from Candescent Moon. Will Ukraine get the Crimea back? Is it called the Crimea or is it called Crimea? I never know. Let's take a look. The future of Crimea. Oh, Slovenia borders Italy. Oh, nice. Crimea. It's like having a thug at your backyard that can come and beat you up anytime he wants to. It creates a lot of stress if Ukraine cannot secure and protect themselves from this. You can see the stress and the fear there. I think that Ukraine is going to try and take it back. You can see the time of April. Ukraine has they're in a position of power and leadership. I would not be surprised if under Zielinski, with this type of military assistance that they're receiving, if they drove the Russians all the way to Moscow. Yeah. Zielinski. I think they very much intend on taking Crimea back. Yeah. Because they want to nip it in the bud. This idea of Russia constantly coming in and taking little pieces of this, that, and the other. I don't know. What do y'all think about that? So I'm trying to get to everybody's messages. Somebody made a donation. I wanted to thank them, but I think it's passed. Oh, there it is. Lily Rose. Hi, Lily Rose. Thank you for that donation. You're number one too. Thank you. All right. Well, did y'all hear about Jell-O? Speaking of hot topics. Anybody here read TMZ when you're bored and you can't get any sleep? I just don't see it with her and Ben Affleck. I just don't. It's almost like I just can't believe those two are really together. Like, why are those two together? It doesn't seem like a real couple, does it? I don't know. Anyway, evidently, she was spotted wearing a big diamond ring, Jell-O. So there's now rumors swirling around that she and Ben Affleck are getting married. So Jell-O, yeah, Jennifer Lopez is wearing an engagement ring, and they say that she's secretly engaged to Ben Affleck. It's like, who can financially afford that? Who can financially afford that kind of emotional instability in their marriages? Getting married every two. Would this be her fourth marriage or something? Fifth? I don't know. Well, they were going to get married. They called it off. She married one guy twice. Didn't she marry Mark Anthony twice or something? I don't know. I can't. Then there was some other guy she married that nobody, I don't know. She married some stranger, some guy that nobody, I don't know. It just seems like too much drama for me. I don't know. I just I keep my life simple. Anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting on the hot topic subject, since sometimes we do a little celebrity gossip. All right, Constance Campbell. She wants to know what realistically can be done to prevent Putin from further crimes against innocent nations. Don't you think he needs to be arrested? Come on now. I do. I mean, like, why doesn't somebody arrest him already? All right, so what is happening? What can we do to stop Putin? All right, how will Putin be stopped? Don't cry for me, Crimea. That's right, Joel. He has to be stopped because he's unstable and his capacity to do tremendous damage in the world is pretty serious, Putin. And even his allies are beginning to question his mental health. It's almost like Putin is destroying everything and doesn't know why. It's just coming in, and it reminds me of the last days of Saddam Hussein, just destroying everything in the clouds. It's almost like his mental capacity is kind of out the window. Here's what I was going to say as a remote view. I wanted to record it yesterday. I didn't get around to it. Putin knows that there are people in high positions of power that are working for the Americans because he knows how good the American intelligence is. So the fact that we knew what the military plans were, the fact that we knew who was going where, obviously we had moles and informants deep inside the intelligence agencies in Russia, but also the military. And so he knew that there were people on his cabinet that were working with the Americans, and that, I think, is part of the paranoia. He has to figure out which one of them is giving this information, because this is all information that's coming in from private meetings. So if he has a private meeting with 10 of his generals, and then all the information is available and the Americans are saying, yeah, we know exactly what you're doing, how you're coming in. You're going to be coming in from the East. We know which military unit is. The only way that we can know that stuff is if we've got informants. So that's part of the paranoia. So in addition to having informants inside the Kremlin, the other issue for Putin is the fact that he thinks somebody's trying to kill him, somebody's trying to poison him. He's had at least 6 attempts, and I think in terms of poisoning, I think he's been poisoned a couple times. So it plays for a very it's a very erratic mental state he's in. You can see 7 of Cups is to be in the cloud. That's almost like an Alzheimer's card, isn't it? When you think about it, somebody who's here, there, and everywhere. And then, if you're thinking of what the consequences of that kind of instability, 10 of Swords. So there's a real concern that as long as this individual's in power, he remains a threat to the world. Absolutely. And then you have there is this pressure that Biden should do something. Well, what can Biden do without us getting into World War III? If he goes in and tries to take out Putin, then does he make it actually worse? Does Putin then retaliate with nuclear weapons? Or do we just keep helping Ukraine, hoping that they will push everybody further and further away? Now they're bombing Belgrade, though, which is interesting. But you have Biden coming in. There's some tremendous stress on Biden about what to do with this guy. You know, he can create a lot of unhappiness for people. These are like two of the most negative card charts out there. I mean, two of the most negative cards in the card chart. So he presents as confused and dangerous. He also feels threatened. Putin does. He feels like he's up against a corner. He doesn't know what's happening. He's paranoid. Family secrets, right? The 10 of Pentacles, the dark aspects of the family inheritance can be incest, family secrets, dirty little bad things happening in a family, right? That's the dark aspects of the 10 of Pentacles. So you have him in the clouds and feeling defensive, 9 of Wands, like he has to defend himself. And then you have inside the Kremlin, the family secrets. Our little family has got secrets happening, leading to 10 of Swords betrayal. So he's paranoid because his own people are spying on him. His own people have information on him and are giving it to the Americans. Smoother waters lay ahead for Biden. It's going to be very difficult to remove him. Heartbreak. His own people are going to have to remove him. Probably the military and the intelligence. Whoever's cooperating with the military or with the United States is probably the very people that are going to have to remove him. He sounds really, those cards, he's not mentally sound based on those cards. He's making erratic decisions, and his erratic decisions are causing a lot of unhappiness for a lot of other people based on those cards, and a lot of pressure on Biden to do something. Doesn't know what he's going to do, but more than likely that his own military will take him out. It's interesting, huh? What do you think about that? Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that definitely if he had COVID, if he had all this stuff, it can't be good for his health, right? All right. So Julie McNeely wants to know about Walt Disney, Disneyland. Evidently, they're coming after LGBTQ again because they've got some strange, I don't know, maybe they're perverts or something. I don't know why this Republican need to attack the LGBTQ community. It's very strange. But let's see about how Disney is handling DeSantis. While we're at it, we'll go ahead and look at DeSantis's cards. Not a nice guy, DeSantis, is he? All right, what's going on with DeSantis? It's a lot of games, a lot of posturing just in order to become popular. Family secrets, legacy, intolerance, something's going to come out about DeSantis. Foolish acts. Very stupid person, I'm sorry to say. He doesn't present as smart, DeSantis. He presents as somebody who kind of always gives himself a pep talk. But to be honest with you, I see growing tension between him and Trump, and it's going to lead to some he's going to be persecuted by Trumpsters. Trumpsters could make life very difficult for DeSantis. They could become his Achilles heel. This is Trump. Trump's going to be making problems for him. I also don't feel good. I physically don't feel good when I go into DeSantis's energy. I don't know. Something's going on with his health. Maybe he has a flu or something. He feels a little out of it when I go into his energy. It's interesting. DeSantis is going to have problems because he's at war with members of his own party. That's what it looks like. More than Walt Disney or Disney World. That's not his main problem. Okay, so Claudia wants to know if Zielinski is going to be safe because his cards look very vulnerable between April and May. We do know that he has private security now supplied by Israel and several other countries. They've really created a very tight perimeter around him in Kyiv. The Golani fighters have taken up the perimeter. So that gives him a little breathing room, right? After that happened. But let's take a look here. All right, how is Zielinski going to be April, May? Okay, Zielinski. Huh. He's probably going to be okay, Zielinski. He was invited on American television. There's something here about American television, about communication, a job, an offer. I would not be surprised if he was invited to be on like an American show, like Saturday Night Live or something like that when this whole nightmare is over. There's something about him, yeah, being invited to, there's like this acting job that comes up. It's really kind of weird. It's almost like he's a surprise guest on SNL or something when this nightmare happens. He's got a new acting job coming in by January. He's negotiating peace over this conflict, which will end. Would you watch SNL if he hosted SNL? Yeah, it's a world job. He's also going to be making movies again. There are economic problems with Ukraine. Even though they get peace, they're going to have a lot of economic problems. They're going to get help. There's going to be an internal investigation into corruption inside the Russian military by Russia because of the amount of corruption that happened. In order to save Russia, they betrayed Russia. That's what they're saying. So the people that were working with the Americans feel that it was necessary because of what had happened to Russia. So what they're saying here, what the remote view, what the Russians are saying is, we didn't feel that we were betraying Russia when we worked with the Americans. We felt like we were doing what we had to do to get our country back because it was sliding dangerously towards totalitarianism. So, yeah, things get stable. I think Zelensky will stay there as long as he has to. I think that there's going to be huge economic problems going forward with Ukraine because of the cleanup mess. And I think there are people, good people from within inside Russia that are intentionally sabotaging the Russians. Yeah, so that's basically what they're saying. What do you think about them apples, people? Something to think about. I think that if he was a surprise guest, like Barack Obama had a Barack Obama thing on and took it off and it was Barack Obama on SNL, I think if Zelensky did that on SNL, people would go insane. Based on those cards, mark my word, when this whole thing is over and done, you're going to see him on American TV. Yes, thank you for mentioning that false teeth. To learn HCRV, yes, I teach it on Tuesdays. It's $9.99 a month at the empath healers and empaths level. We teach what's a technique, sensation technique. We teach you how to connect the sensations in your body with your psychic abilities when you're connecting with a target. Yes, Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Tuesdays with 5 p.m. Thank you, false teeth. Okay, Julie McNeely. This is fun. And any questions you have, doesn't have to be politics. We can keep talking about Jello. So this is fun. This is one of the remote views I was going to talk to people about. Thank you to Julie McNeely for posting this, and it has to do with the fact that Ivanka Trump spoke before the January 6th committee. So, who's been with the channel for a couple of years? You know, sometimes when you're a remote viewer, they tell you, you know, one of the things that we teach, this is actually what Tuesday's class was about. We tell you to digest the target, right? So we give you a random target in HCRV, and then you hold it and you meditate on it and you digest it and you become one with it and you see what thoughts and feelings start coming up, right? When you ingest that target, when you become one with the target. So let's talk about it. What happened after Michael Cohen called Ivanka Trump? What the remotes say was going to happen? Said she was going to cooperate because she was going to basically convince them that her father was mentally insane, and so hopefully she was going to say whatever she had to distance herself. She would cooperate with the investigation because they already had her signature on the documents, and she was going to try and distance herself from her father. What did the remotes say about her mother, Ivana? How did her mother, Ivana, feel about her relationship with her father? Was it a good thing, a bad thing? Was Ivana worried about the children getting involved with Trump's business? Of course. Because Ivana knew that this guy is trouble, and she genuinely feared, oh, the kids are going to get in the middle of this. I never had a good feeling about this, Ivanka. I never had a good feeling about this, right? What did Kushner tell Ivanka when he found out that Ivanka had lied to him about the signatures and the money that she had basically stolen from the committee? Did she tell Kushner the truth right away? Oh, yeah, no, yeah, we did that. Yeah, I screwed up. Yeah, my signature is on the document. No, she lied to Kushner and said, no, everything's fine. Yeah, we followed the rule. We charged the price. That didn't happen. And no, I didn't sign those things. So she lied, and then Kushner found out she lied. What did Kushner say to her when he found out that the wagons were circling around his wife a year and a half, 2 years ago? He told her to flip. Very good, Candescent Moon. He told her to flip because why? Because his children are not going to be growing up with a parent in prison, right? So is anybody surprised that Ivanka and Jared are cooperating with January 6th committee? I didn't know that, Connie. That's very sad. Kushner had to visit his dad in prison. That's very sad. So, how long do you think that they've been cooperating with the feds? Probably a long time, right? Okay, so let's take a look at Ivanka now. It's kind of gone full circle, hasn't it? Mm-hmm. I love this job. Is this not the funnest job in the world? That's why I teach HCRV. I want everybody to join me. Wouldn't it be great if everybody did HCRV? I wonder if we'd be closer to war, or I know what you're thinking. Like, would it start to drive us crazy if everybody was doing HCRV on everybody else? But that's what they say about extraterrestrials, who they think might be our future. They're us 2 million years from now or whatever, is that they communicate telepathically. So I don't know, maybe we're all headed there. All right, let's see about Ivanka. Ivanka. She's taking care of herself for now, but you can see the first house, the tower. So whatever information she gave was pretty powerful and pretty damning of her father. So she didn't lie. She just told the truth. He was sitting there talking on another phone. She told them exactly what she witnessed, and she did not lie. That's the main takeaway here. She did not lie. She did not do the fifth. She cooperated with the investigation. And she basically, do you think she even has a relationship with her dad anymore after this? We know that she's no longer running for politics, right? She's out of politics. Tower in the house. Rubs her lamp. She's dreaming. Ace of Swords. And then Nine of Pentacles. So she's taking care of herself. This is somebody who is going to take care of herself. What dreadful people. I'm sorry. Oh, she's writing an autobiography. She's writing an autobiography to clean up her name, to clean up her reputation. So, yeah, she cooperated. You can see here with the justice. Look at this, though. Expert witness leading to cray cray. She will pull herself away from this. She will pull herself away from this. That's basically what they're saying. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they already had evidence. I mean, the truth of the matter is Cohen was right a couple years ago, wasn't he? That the best thing she could do was flip because there was so much evidence against her. She really didn't have an option, did she? I don't think I think that they were able to bypass the illegal aspects of that, Marjorie. I don't think they're going to have problems getting away with that, unfortunately. Okay, so Carolyn Pooler has an interesting question about corruption inside the intelligence agencies, Homeland, et cetera. We've talked a lot about the fact that there was quite a bit of corruption that was going on in Michigan, for example, and the fact that, yeah, they were working with overthrowing the government. So let's take a look at corruption inside Homeland Security. I think we're going to be finishing up pretty soon because it's already 5 o'clock. Hello, Debbie Brady. Corruption in our intelligence agencies. Huh. Things got a lot better when they had a totally new person in Homeland Security. It looks like new people came in and were hired, and they were able to clean up the mess within 6 months. A lot of people sympathized with January 6th. They were Trump supporters, but they are still law abiding and still have a job at Homeland. It's the people that actually broke the law. They're not being fired because they voted for Trump or they supported Trump. It's because of the fact that they were engaged in the insurrection, that they participated. But you can see the investigation continues on victoriously over 6 months. There's something here about the fact that people turned evidence against each other. I still see Ginny Thomas in trouble because they followed it towards corruption and money and bribes. Money, bribes, Two of Pentacles, juggling coin, offered money. They were offered money, they were offered work. Huh, there's some kind of big expose that's coming out in a week. There's just a new group of people. Look, I think what's going to happen is a lot of new people are going to take over leadership positions in intelligence agencies and in the military, etc., because there's something about a celebration of the people after some truth comes out, and there's something about corruption being caught, heartbreak, in jail, walking away. So there's definitely an ongoing investigation in January 6th and what happened in Michigan. And I would say expect some more information to come out of the Justice Department in the coming weeks. A professional process server tried to serve Trump at Mar-a-Lago and was met with armed guards. Who were they? I don't know. When did this happen? Could be that they want to question him. I know that he's been in contempt. So it could be that he's being asked to, let's see, let's find out. Who was the professional server and what was the story there? He has to testify for a investigation. That's what it looks like. Something about a deposition or testimony on an ongoing investigation. Huh. I wouldn't be surprised if this was what was coming out of New York, the civil suit in New York about that person that he accosted. But something about women and abuse and sex and evidence against him. So it may be the Carroll case. Oh, that's interesting. I'd forgotten about that case. Okay, one more, you guys. One more. All right. And thank you for the coffee donation, by the way. That was much appreciated. Ooh, got another coffee donation here. Let's see here. Ooh, Red Gypsy. Thank you. Let's see. How much does it cost for 18 ounces of Pete's Major Dickinson coffee, whole bean, 18 ounces? Sometimes the 10 ounces on sale for some, I can't remember. Sometimes it goes on sale. Anyway, try Pete's if you're looking for a great coffee. All right. So here we have a question by Jody Rogers. She wants to know what America is going to be like in the years to come. So if we were to throw ourselves forward, say 4 or 5 years in the United States, what kind of a country would we be looking at? What do you think? Hopefully a nice country, right? All right, let us see here. What will happen to America in the coming years? Yeah, it's much better. America's much better. The economy improves quite a bit. There's an increase in social spending for the poor. There's a lot of activities to help with homelessness, rising rent and subsidies for the poor. They don't want people living on the streets. This becomes a huge priority for people. This is a charity card, 6 of Pentacles and balance and helping the most vulnerable. So there are people in positions of power over the next 5 years. Hi, my love. How are you? Hi. You're making me sneeze because it's your shedding season. So if I go like this, huge chunks of hair come out. And it's really making me cough. So anyway, I would say much more compassionate. Also, 2 of Cups would be assistance. Also, Lovers would indicate that there's less, we're a lot nicer to each other. Business is very good too. I just keep seeing us being more aligned with a green economy going forward. Also, I like seeing that 6 of Pentacles. I think there's going to be real efforts taking place to get people off the streets. This issue of homelessness, primary education, also funding more primary education, small businesses too. You see a New Beginning charity. You know, homelessness in Los Angeles is now considered an emergency. This is an emergency crisis. So now it's being treated like a crisis. So I see a lot less homelessness. And I see a lot of green economy. Like the money is going into vertical farming. People are farming indoors now, which is great. No more pesticide, right? It's one way of dealing with global warming is we just grow everything indoors. You can grow massive amounts of food 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and we won't be dependent on things like drought, etc. So that's everything that we're going to be doing over the next 5 years, which is making sure to keep food costs down, growing it effectively with less loss of crops to pest, and very based on what I saw there, really aggressive about making sure everyone has a home. Homelessness is a big issue coming forward in the next 5 years. Also, you see things with infrastructure come up a lot in the cards. Yeah, there's a lot that comes up with infrastructure. Seven of Wands, for example, is a card that I use to determine standing on high ground. Also, but building something greater. Yeah, veggie meats and also growing lab meat. All of that's the new economy. Now, if you're looking at inflation, if you're not able to grow corn and wheat, who eats corn? So who eats corn is cows eat corn. A lot of the corn that's grown is grown for the cows and the chickens, right? So not only will not only will the corn go up, but the meat prices will go up, right? So when we're talking about a food crisis, who's going to be the most affected by what's going on in Ukraine? Sudan is the most hard hit. Afghanistan. These are the people that they they're wheat-based societies. They need bread and they can't get the bread. But America overall will be okay. And then if you're looking at global warming, uh, it's no longer financially feasible to be growing cows. So that's another reason why I think we're getting off of meat. Yeah, and they're very dependent on food aid, Candescent Mood. So they're going to be heavily affected by this war. All right, be well, everyone. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging with me today. If you're trying to get in for a reading, you can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com. If you need just a 5-minute Wizio reading, usually can get your answer back within 3-4 days. The information on asking questions through Wizio is in the description box below the video. Thanks everyone for hanging out with me on Hot Topics. And I will see you next time. Be well, everyone. Be well. Maybe we'll do like Spooky Fridays. That would be fun. I'm thinking about doing like Haunted Fridays. I'll think about it. All right. Bye, everyone. See you later.